Very welcome once again to your favorite channel, that is Lukmaan IAS Academy. आप सभी लोगों का हार्दिक स्वागत है और हम चलते हैं हमारे आज के पर्सपेक्टिव टक्कर टॉपिक यानी कि हॉट टॉपिक फॉर द डे की तरफ। और ये न्यूज है वापस से हमारे जियोपॉलिटिक्स की तरफ से, इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस की तरफ से, जहां दो बहुत ही आपस में पक्के दुश्मन वापस से टकरार की तरफ बढ़ते नजर आ रहे हैं। वापस से जो है एक टेंशन, एक ट्रबल सिस्टम जो है क्रिएट करने की तरफ नजर आ रहे हैं पूरे जियोपॉलिटिक्स के रडार में, पूरे जियोपॉलिटिक्स के रेल्म के अंदर। And these two enemies, yes, we are not talking about America and China, America and Russia, America and North Korea, या Russia and any XYZ other country. We are talking about two very unconventional enemies, जिनकी दुश्मनी की वजह से फिलहाल अभी तक तो, I'll repeat, जिनकी दुश्मनी की वजह से फिलहाल अभी तक तो कोई बहुत बड़ी आपदा, कोई बहुत बड़ा डिजास्टर तो नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन वो कहते हैं ना कि सुनामी के आने से पहले समंदर में बहुत शांति होती है। और ये वो दो कंट्रीज हैं जिनको हम कहते हैं यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका एक तरफ वेस्ट में, और मिडिल ईस्ट के अंदर मौजूद वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एंड वन ऑफ द मोस्ट पावरफुल कंट्रीज ऑफ द मिडिल ईस्ट, जिसको हमने नाम दिया है ईरान। सो इट्स यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका वर्सेस ईरान अगेन। और हम सब जानते हैं अमेरिका की जंग मिडिल ईस्ट की कंट्रीज में अगर कहीं है तो किस वजह से है। तो अमेरिका अगर मिडिल ईस्ट में उतरा है अगर किसी भी कंट्री के अगेंस्ट, तो उसका सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक लौता रीजन निकल कर आता है, वो है द न्यूक्लियर, राइट। और एल्स अमेरिका की मिडिल ईस्ट में कोई भी जाती दुश्मनी नहीं है किसी भी कंट्री के साथ, चाहे हम ईरान की बात करें, इराक की बात करें, पाकिस्तान, अफगानिस्तान, किसी भी कंट्री की हम बात कर लें। खैर अफगानिस्तान में न्यूक्लियर एक लौता रीजन नहीं था, हालांकि अफगानिस्तान में न्यूक्लियर का कोई हमने एज सच कोई ट्रेसेस नहीं देखे। हाँ, अफगानिस्तान का मुद्दा रशिया की वजह से था, तालिबान की वजह से था, लेकिन इसके अलावा अगर हम बात करें विद द स्टेट ऑफ पाकिस्तान, इट वाज वंस अगेन न्यूक्लियर। ईरान, इराक, न्यूक्लियर, एंड व्हाटएवर अदर कंट्रीज अमेरिका इज इन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट विथ is only because of one single reason, that is nuclear. In fact, America versus North Korea is also, it's not the race of supremacy. There is no scope of any kind of this comparison between the countries of America and North Korea. America is way beyond, way ahead. There is nothing we can say that there is a scope of comparison. North Korea just makes up the trouble because of its ongoing actions with regard to the nuclear arsenal tests or the other type of weapon test. Okay, so now coming back to the point, what's the conflict between America and Iran? It is just one, that is nuclear. After giving up the policies such as CTBT and NPT, CTBT, that is Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty, or also it is known as in the name of NTBT, that is Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. And after proposing the NPT, that is Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, America actually showed its absolute dominance throughout the globe. Absolute dominance with regard to the economy, yes. Apart from that, absolute dominance with regard to the political power and the arms race, arms power as well. So in that, when majority of the countries, they bowed in front of the supremacy of America, there were so few countries who denied to accept the American supremacy. And one of those countries were we as well, that is India. We never signed NPT. We always rejected the proposals of signing CTBT or NTBT. Always. We still possess nuclear, and we are always saying that we do not use nuclear, but yes, we are developing nuclear as well. Yes, not for the military purposes, but for the civilian purposes, we are doing it openly. And apart from that, the recent BrahMos missile test, successful test, and its induction inside the Indian military explains the concept very clearly, or shall I take the word exclaims the concept very clearly, that India is creating up its own nuclear arsenal, and it's developing and enhancing as well day by day. And the very same thing, the very same policy was implemented or followed by the state of Iran as well. When Iran denied to the America's offers and America's orders, actually the word we should take, to not go ahead with the nuclear arsenal. Iran, which was already in the center of the conflict with the other nations of the Middle East, taking the name of Iraq, taking the name of Kuwait, Oman, and so on. And these were the countries, those who got the direct or indirect support from the state of America. Iran continued its nuclear weapon upgradation and its establishment. And then came further the era of 2015 when the second time president of the United States of America, that is Barack Hussein Obama, created an alliance or went up with an agreement, not alliance is not the correct word here, sorry about that, taken up an agreement with the state of Iran, popularly known as Iran Nuclear Deal, or the JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Under this, Iran said that yes, okay, I'm not going to create up more of the nuclear, that's fine. And apart from that, the International Atomic Energy Agency will be having the clear cut of the space to have the surveillance or the watch on the Iran's ongoing or upcoming nuclear programs. So that was around the year 2015 when Iran signed this deal with the United States of America, popularly Iran Nuclear Deal, but the actual name was the JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. But further, what we have seen after the end of the Barack Hussein Obama's regime, when the new president of America took charge in the year 2016, the name Donald Trump, we have seen that how he took his steps back with the Iran Nuclear Deal. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action was given another name of Sleeping Beauty, as it was not much in force, as it was not much in active sphere at that time, right? Okay, and then Iran got the free hand to develop its nuclear arsenal, and that's what exactly Iran did. Because as stated in the beginning of the session, Iran being one of the most powerful nations of the Middle East, once again, remember this, Iran is the most powerful nation or one of the most powerful nations of the Middle East. And what Iran has stated right now, it is the research or the report of the American intelligence agencies. Dhyan se suniyega, it is the research and the report of the American intelligence agencies. That is the matter of concern. ईरान ने मौजूदा समय में 84% ऑफ द न्यूक्लियर एनरिच करके रखा है. ध्यान से देखिए, वर्ड्स आपके सामने हैं, फिगर्स आपके सामने हैं. 84% ऑफ द न्यूक्लियर हैज बीन एनरिच्ड बाय द कंट्री नोन एज ईरान, which is way beyond or far ahead than the requirement limits of the nuclear for the civilian use, for medicinal research, electricity generation, power generation and so on. और 6% और अगर ये एनरिच कर लेता है, यानी कि 90% न्यूक्लियर अगर ईरान एनरिच कर लेता है, तो वो बहुत ही जल्दी, हफ्ते 2 हफ्ते से भी कम का समय लगेगा ईरान को फिर न्यूक्लियर वेपन बनाने में. This is not the report of the Iranian agencies, Iranian government and so on. This is the report by the American intelligence agencies that 84% of the nuclear has already been enriched by the state of Iran, which is far ahead than the minimum of the limit that is required for the nuclear use for the civilian purposes. And if Iran is able to enrich 6% more, that is, if it can go ahead with the 90%, then in that case, Iran will be able to make up the nuclear weapon within just couple of weeks. Okay, so this is what the American intelligence agencies have stated. That means it's a matter of concern for the whole globe, because if there is another sort of war between any two countries, all those countries, those who are having right now nuclear, will be able to use it. And this war will be known as the Third World War. That means the nuclear war this time it will be. Remember what happened in the Second World War. Only America was having the nuclear weapon. 2 of the bombs were used, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, in the year 1945. And what we have seen, 1944, what we have seen, that the whole of the nations at that time ongoing with the war, they got shocked. They got shocked. And all of them, they took up that white flag in their hands and they said, sorry, we are not going for the war again. Now this time, imagine the catastrophic destruction that can take place if the Third World War starts, because each and every nation almost possess now the super nations or superpower nations or the active geopolitical nations. They do possess the nuclear, right? And in that case, it will be the nuclear war, that is end of the world. Nothing would be left. Nothing, literally nothing would be left if we witness or encounter the Third World War. ओके, सो इस चीज को ध्यान में रखते हुए अमेरिकन इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज ने बोला ईरान को कि भाई ऐसा है, रुक जाओ, थम जाओ, मत करो. लेकिन ईरान JCPOA के ऑफिशियली पॉज होने के बाद, ध्यान रखना, JCPOA हैज नॉट एंडेड. Okay, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action or Iran nuclear deal is halted, it's paused, it's not ended. Okay, the Biden administration, since Biden has taken charge, Mr. Joe Biden has taken charge as the American president, has taken up very positive, affirmative, and the cognizant actions for the state of Iran. Well, we have seen that they have tried their best to remove up the majority of the sanctions with regard to the trade, economy, and so on. But still, they are doing it. They haven't declared Iran as absolutely sanction-free nation because America has not yet lifted off the sanction on Iran that is known as CAATSA, Comprehensive America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. America has so far imposed CAATSA on the three of the nations of this globe, that is on North Korea, Russia, and Iran. All of these three nations are under the CAATSA sanction of America. Okay, that is countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. So, on North Korea and Russia, we know very well that these sanctions are not going to be uplifted in the very near future or maybe in the far future as well. But with regard to Iran, Joe Biden administration gave the clear-cut hints that if Iran is ready to go ahead with the peace talks with America and the allied nations, then we can also think to lift off the ban of CAATSA. But Iran said, sorry brother, as of now, I don't think I'm interested. And why America is too much of troubled, why America is too much of tensed or worried because of the Iran's nuclear powers? Because first thing, if America wants to establish its hegemony inside the states of Middle East, then Iran is the biggest hurdle. Iran is the biggest roadblock there. Iran will not let America to establish its absolute hegemony inside the state of Middle East Asian nations. Why? Because we can see recently how Iranian administration and the government, they are having wonderful ties and they are trying to make close relations, bilateral and trilateral relations with the states of Saudi and UAE. The very recent news is, the very recent events, they tell us that how Iranian government is approaching the governments of Saudi Arabia with regard to the trade, with regard to the crude oil, with regard to the bilateral agreements, in regard to the tourism, in regard to the import and export. And apart from that, the very same thing is also done with the state of United Arab Emirates. The very same thing with regard to the Saudi and UAE, the Iranian administration is trying to do. Okay, so America is worried. Why? Because if Iran continues its power representation throughout the Middle East, then it will be difficult for America to go ahead with that. And apart from that, the very second reason is Iran's nuclear ability will threaten the other nations as well. All of those nations, those who are ally of America. And those nations will come to this point that America failed to cover up or to suppress the Iranian nuclear upgradation. And hence these allied nations will start losing the trust. Will they start getting the disdain thing within themselves against America. So that means ultimately the American government will be put forward in front of the question mark that are you losing your hegemony? Are you losing your absolute power? Or once the unipolar world was created only by the state of America, and now presently a small state which is not even developed enough to be called a developed nation, or a developing nation, that is taking the front run for competition with the state of America. So these questions will trouble these questions will worry out. Okay, it's a worrisome point for the American agencies, American government, and so on. So that's why America is trying to suppress the Iranian nuclear upgradation, Iranian nuclear arsenal upgradation. और अगर इसके ऊपर हम रिपोर्ट्स की बात करें और इंसिडेंसेस की बात करें, so the year 2021 saw one of the very major events, one of the very major negative events with regard to the JCPOA, that is Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, and apart from that, also the Iran's present status. Okay, what happened in the year 2021 in the month of, I guess, May or June, something like that. I'm not absolutely sure with the date and the time period of the event, but yes, it was 2021 when Iran claimed that its underground nuclear facility known as Natanz, Natanz. Natanz is Iran's one of the most powerful nuclear facility, most strong, most empowered nuclear facility known as Natanz. So, in the very same year of 2021, Iran claimed that it has been attacked by some external forces. So firstly, in the very day one, Iranian administration gave the statement that it has been attacked. Then the very next day, Iran was asked that show the evidences that how it has been attacked. Then the Iranian government changed the statement and they stated that it was a cyber attack. It was not a physical warfare attack. It was a cyber attack on our system, which actually stopped our nuclear facility, which stopped our machines, the fans, and so on. Okay, so the onus went on to the two countries, that is America and the very friendly ally of America inside Middle East known as Israel. So Iran straight away accused these two nations that either it is Israel or it is America. The two nations, those who have planned and attacked, that is cyber attacked on the Natanz nuclear facility of Iran. Okay, though Iran failed totally to provide any kind of an evidence against these two nations that whether they were involved in this attack or very so-called cyber attack or not. But yes, वो बोलते हैं ना कि धुआं उठा है तो आग तो लगी होगी. So all of these things are taking place since the last 8 years, or shall we call specifically in the last 7 years, when Barack Obama gave up, or when Barack Obama's tenure as the president, second time president of America ended up, and Donald Trump came in, who paused, literally officially paused the JCPOA, Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, that is Iran nuclear deal. And then further, the Biden administration started having cordial relations, delicate relations with the state of Iran, but couldn't do much with respect to or with regard to the Iran nuclear deal. So as of now, we know very well what is the crux here. America wants at any cost to suppress the Iranian arsenal. Why? Because America wants to continue up ahead with its hegemony throughout the globe. Because we know very well that how China is taking up its expansionism policy, that is from Australia to Middle East, from Middle East to the African nations. Chinese government is totally present. And apart from that, the ongoing Russia and Ukraine conflict and the upgrading Russian supremacy throughout the Eurasian nations, Eurasian territories. Okay, that right now more than 1 year have passed, almost 14 months it is there when the Russia-Ukraine conflict is started. Every day there is battles going on, there is bombardment and bloodshed is going on, and the firings are going on, ceasefires are going on. But what we have seen that neither America nor allied nations done anything, were able to do anything properly against the Russian government. Okay, so in order to maintain the hegemony, as of now, America alone cannot fight Russia. America alone cannot fight China as well, because Russia and China, they are always good cordial friends. So America now knows very well that where it has to target. It has to target the other nations of Middle East, Asia, Southeast Asia, and Africa. And for that, America needs at least Iran, America needs at least Australia, and yes, nevertheless, okay, India is one of the most important needs of America in the present stages, in the present ages. Okay, everyone. So I hope you learned a lot in this session. You have enjoyed the session as well. Many of the things were discussed in this one particular event of Iran and America conflict. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like the video. Please do hit the subscribe button as well. And do not forget to hit the bell icon as well so that you never miss any update from the Lukmaan IAS channel. The only motto being turning your dreams into reality. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. See you all soon. Till then, bye-bye. Take care. Study well. And yes, Jai Hind.